Broadcasting from our studio in Ocala, Florida, I'm Brody Barcode.
I'm Ryan James.
And welcome to the Parlor, your hub for independent art and entertainment, as well as a platform to showcase independent artists and entertainers abroad. Now that's gourmet.
That it is. Welcome. It's 2021. Lots of new things are happening. Speaking of new things, we are blessed with the opportunity to do a review of the movie Obsidian by Erika Summers, who we had an interview with earlier in our channel.
Kickstarted the Parlor's interviews.
That's right, it sure did. This is her fourth film. Her three other films before this one was Ragdoll, Loverboy, and Mr. White. Loverboy and Mr. White are the ones that we were able to work on with her and learned a lot and had a wonderful time doing. This movie has been 7 years in the making and has finally been unleashed into the wild for our viewing pleasure and your viewing pleasure. We are here to review that, about all the trials and tribulations with these characters. Lots of blood, lots of gore, lots of fun stuff. And this movie also has won 3 awards in the Thing in the Basement Horror Fest. The Best Gore, Best Editing, and Best Feature Film. We're going to go ahead and show you this trailer before we get into our review. This way you can kind of get a taste of what's going on. Let's roll that footage.
Enjoy.
This little pill has the chance to revolutionize healthcare and change lives.
Where are the rest of the volunteers?
Seems like you're looking at us. The few, the proud, the guinea pigs.
You're here to participate in a groundbreaking clinical trial. The code name for it is Obsidian. We're gonna make history.
You don't know me, and you don't know the things that I've done.
Dropping out the trial. What are you doing? Get it out! There's someone inside me!
Get your hands off me!
It means it worked.
No, Iris, it means it didn't work. It means these scars, they're never gonna heal. This man will never walk again.
I own this parish. I don't just look like a monster, I am a monster.
Not a day goes by that I don't hate myself for what happened. What the hell is going on, man?
You'd be a perfect candidate for this trial.
Erika Summers stated that Obsidian is her dark love letter to Louisiana. And she also wrote in a brief synopsis, haunted by his tragic past, Jack Gore, a heavily scarred introvert, volunteers for a phase 1 clinical trial of a miraculous new tissue regeneration medication, dubbed Obsidian. Soon under the watchful surveillance of respected pharmacologist Dr. James Walsh, Jack and the group of hopeful volunteers start to experience hellish side effects from the drug and soon find that the quest for vanity can be deadly. So Ryan, what's your take on that synopsis?
The synopsis itself is very true to the movie. The part I have a problem with is the word vanity. There's only a few characters that really don't lump into the vanity category, in my opinion, just for the fact that they had a lot of external and internal traumas that pushed them to try to wipe wipe that slate clean, so to speak. With the exception of one character who was there pretty much for Vanity.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. I mean, granted, for the most part, each and every one of these characters do have some form of physical ailment, affliction that they're dealing with. However, I would say the focus for that we're looking at as far as the main characters go, there's a lot more going on. It's not just, in my opinion, it's not just a vanity aspect.
Very much so. We are very much trying not to have any spoilers in this. We are wanting to give our solid review without doing those spoilers. So you have to bear with us on that.
Yeah.
I agree that with a lot of their traumas, as I said before, it's very much trying to wipe that traumatic slate clean. The lead, Jack, played by Henry Frost, he suffered a very traumatic episode that left him very disfigured on the outside, and with that has put him into a lot of isolation.
Well, yeah, I mean, as well, in my opinion, once again, very disfigured on the inside.
Oh, it is definitely a metaphor for all that.
Yeah.
This drug he came into, trying to wipe that clean to feel better about himself, but I don't think even if it worked, because I mean, being that it's clinical one, phase 1 trial, there's a good chance it's not going to, but on the other hand, there's a chance that it will.
Yeah.
But let's say it didn't.
Yeah.
Would he actually have his internal slate clean if the external portion became, went back to normal, so to speak?
I feel like he's still very much going to be haunted.
Agreed. Agreed.
And here the character Dr. James Walsh, is really wanting to give him this opportunity to try and hopefully be able to correct his physical ailments. Dr. James Walsh, played by Frank R. Wilson, who I felt like he did a great job.
He did.
Yeah. He doesn't want
there's a lot of good intentions.
He doesn't want Jack to give up on this opportunity.
Absolutely.
So he's really pushing for him to stick with the program.
Olivia Peck, who played the character Iris, she was a victim and was left very badly scarred from an attack. And she got past the attack portion for the internal, but externally she was branded, so to speak, with this memory.
Yeah.
And with the idea of the drug potentially working, it would make her feel whole again. It would have that whole full circle aspect of her life to where she feels that she's already started over in one aspect. Now she can jump that last hurdle and complete the cycle.
And, once again, speaking about that word vanity, I mean, yes, on the top surface, she can look at herself in the mirror, just like, let's say, Jack could look at himself in the mirror. Mm-hmm. But, what else is she seeing, from that of on the inside? Is that still, is that darkness still coming through for what it is that she went through? Just like Jack.
Mm-hmm. Some of the side effects that came along with this, it seems like there would be a manifestation of your inner demons that could emerge.
Yeah.
And everybody's inner demons have a tendency to catch up with them in one form or fashion, and sometimes we don't realize it, but it does manifest itself in a physical form.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? And we don't always realize it, that could be the manifestation of our inner demons that we have to face to possibly feel better about a situation.
True.
Now, some of the characters, one in particular, the character Mick, played by Hick Jeremy, was bound to a wheelchair and through outside inflicted wounds because of his bad choices. And the person that was inflicting those wounds was Tom Proctor, who played the character Finn. It was a really bad hand that was dealt.
And I think with regards to Mick, I mean, once again, we're teetering that line and that word, if you will, vanity.
Mm-hmm.
But
we really didn't get his motive outside of the fact that, I mean, it's tissue regeneration. I mean, it's not like it would necessarily make him walk again. I mean, unless those tissues, the tissue in his knee would regenerate. I guess it doesn't really specify the clarity, but yet it's still a clinical,
Right.
clinical trial. We don't know what's going to happen, what kind of side effects will come from it.
And this is the first official group.
Yeah, this is definitely...
If I'm not mistaken, Mick even says it: the few, the proud, the guinea pigs.
Oh, yes.
I believe.
Yes,
I believe
yes.
that was his line.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the few, the proud, the guinea pigs. Thank you for sticking up with us this long. The movie has shown a lot of growth on Erika's abilities in the independent film world and being a recognized female director, working with her editing. There was a lot of cool visuals that came along with it that showed that, in comparison to her previous movies, that showed a lot more ambiance with the color correction and the feel for the moods that she was going with. The music selection was very, 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 very well done. Lots of great collaborations with some local musicians here. For example, M99 is based out of here in Ocala. We know some of the members of it, and they've very much happily contributed to this movie.
I think, technically, especially knowing that Erika was coming from a position of pretty much self-funding this film. Which, if you do go back and watch that episode 2 interview that we have with Erika Summers, or if you happen to listen to the extended podcast with Erika Summers, you'll definitely get to find out exactly what she went through.
Yes.
To get to this point to actually just establish this film in the way she did. So I very much commend her for not giving up, for not throwing in the towel. And once again, I mean, on a budget that was probably below ultra low on a budget scale, she was able to really pull off some incredible shots.
Yeah.
visually, like you said, audio. Me personally, I could see this movie as, even if it was just in that of a limited series, I could see, just because there is so much that's going on within this film.
She did say it was a very slow burn. Me personally, it is a little too slow on the burn aspect, but there is a lot of subtle details that keeps you engaged to wonder what's going to happen next. And when the ball drops, you start running. You start you start chasing. It does leave an opening for a sequel.
Without any spoilers.
Yep.
It does. And like I said, I mean, it is a, in the time frame of, what is it, an hour and 40 minutes, hour 45 minutes.
I think so, yeah.
She very much pulls this film together, and once again, it is, if you've never seen an Erika Summers film, you are definitely getting an Erika Summers film.
Yeah.
Especially with the ending and the fashion that everything unfolds. I don't know. I just still think it would be cool though if it was done in something episodic. Yeah. Because that slow burn fashion, it builds up and builds up and builds up, and I very much commend her for it. I think she did a really fantastic job.
And with this, next month, we actually are going to be having Hick Jeremy, the character Mick, on for an interview talking about his experience working on Obsidian and what he's got going on as well.
Which I think will be really fantastic because,
We're
once
getting
again,
from
without us trying to, divulge any spoilers or anything to that nature, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a little bit more dirt.
Yeah, we're going to be getting it from the actor's side as well as we've already gotten on the directorial side and the producer side and the writer and so on and so forth. So it's definitely going to be a fun time having that interview with Mick, Jeremy, characters Mick. We know that. It's good stuff. In the independent world, especially during this hard time, we all have to think outside the box. One, that's why we're here. We're definitely thinking outside the box. Lots of cool collaborations, lots of people that are still working with their passion, just like Erika did 7 years to produce this film.
Yeah, not giving up.
Not giving up. Pursue your passions. Go out, see Obsidian, buy a copy, support independent artists.
And that link for Obsidian that you can purchase will be on
obsidianmovie.com. The link will be in the description.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Sorry we didn't spoil anything for you guys, but we want you guys to see the movie. Support independent artists. Enjoy it. Have fun. Thank you very much.
Have a happy one.